doing? Good morning. This is Mugeche. The channel is bringing hope in life with me, Mugeche. In case you are new in this channel, please do subscribe and let us do this. This is a channel where we talk experiences. I have been doing some episodes and some series on relationship, and this is a continuation of the series. We have already done 3 of them, I guess. Yes, we have done. The first one that we have done is about, the series is about relationship. This is for the visitors. Kindly subscribe so that you can know what we are talking about, and thank you for those who are subscribing. So we have done several episodes with Mugeche about relationships, romance, and all the other types of relationships. And we have done on healthy relationships, the characteristics and the signs. We have done on unhealthy relationships, that is episode 2. Episode 3, we have talked about, episode 3, we have talked about how to develop positive relationships. And this is number 4, which will be talking about how to rebuild your relationships, how to salvage your marriage for those who are married. I am doing this because I have a passion for family. I have passion for relationships. I am a mentor. I coach relationships. I counsel relationships. And I thought if I share this with you, you will know in what type of relationship are you. In case you are in an unhealthy relationship, how do you rebuild it? In case you are in a marriage which is already rocky, how do you salvage it? Now, to begin this, I want to start by saying that in case you are in a relationship, you are complicated, you are dating, you are contemplating into getting into a relationship, you are already married, I want to begin this particular series by telling you this, or by saying this. I always advise people, getting the right people into a relationship, that is, getting the right person to get into a relationship is not enough. Getting the right person to get married to is not enough. Marriage has a lot to doing the right things with the person that you get married to. Relationships are a journey. It is a constant work in progress. Today you get this experience, tomorrow you get the other experience, year after year. It is a continuous, it is in progress, work in progress, and how you relate with each other is all what matters. For example, I have been in my marriage, I have an experience of marriage for several years, and I know there are things which keep on recurring. They keep on coming back, and we have tried to resolve them. We have continued to becoming friends in this relationship in form of a marriage. So once it becomes rocky, people know how to react and how to behave. For example, in case you are in a relationship which is rocky, one spouse or one member of the relationship is disrespectful, mistreats the other party. So what happens, it is an obvious case that the other party will build or form a response. He will have to react, she will have to react. And once one changes this behavior or his behavior or her behavior, a change in behavior of one person will have an impact in one person, the other person, and the entire relationship will have an impact. So what will happen if one party is disrespectful, the other one will form a new response to cope. For example, he or she may have a defensive mechanism on how to behave on that disrespect or on that mistreatment. So you will change, you will start behaving in another way so that you can cope with the mistreatment. Remember, for example, if it is in a marriage which is getting rocky and we have to, because we did, I do. We said I do. So death, till death do us part. Happily ever after. It is not a bed of roses. That is what I mean. So what happens is, if one party changes his or her behavior, the other one will have to form a reaction, a mechanism on how to cope with that. But for example, if that disrespectful character changes, if you change, definitely the other party will also change. If you have been mistreating each other, one party is mistreating the other party, and then that one who is being mistreated is positive and stops mistreating, then the other party will definitely change. So that kind of reaction will be a coping mechanism. If you stop it, then it stops. One thing I also advise people in rebuilding and salvaging their relationships and their marriages is that I am a Christian. So I advise people to put God first. Involve God in your relationships. For example, you are courting, you're going for marital or premarital counseling, probably from a counselor, from a mentor, from a church. If you are a Christian and you want to go to a Christian, to have a Christian marriage, that means you're Christians. Put God first. You're already in a relationship, put God first. Involve God in your relationship. Involve God in whatever things that you are doing. I always advise people, away from being a counselor, I always advise people to invest very, very much in prayers, in their marriages, in their relationships. Have a day when you can pray together, and that means you check your personal relationship with your God. So here are the tips on how you can salvage your marriage, or you can rebuild your relationship which has become probably rocky, which is going to the direction of being unhealthy, which is already affecting you. Tip number 1, you have to analyze yourself. As a member of that marriage, as a member of that relationship, what is that you're doing wrong? What is that you're doing right? Are you disrespectful? What can you do about it so that you can try and salvage this relationship, this love relationship, this marriage? What is that me as a member, I am doing wrong? How do we address each other? Now this has to go to both of us, or to any of us. Remember, as an individual, you can salvage your relationship by the way you react, by the way you behave, by the way you address each other. So analyze yourself and see where you're going wrong and where you are going right. Number 2, give yourself time. You find that many are the times when we try to forget totally about ourselves, trying to salvage a relationship, trying to salvage an unhealthy marriage, until we completely forget about ourselves. Don't forget yourself. Don't give too much until you're left with nothing. Be yourself. Have a me time. Be happy. I mean, you don't have to be gloomy, because trust me, in case it is a marriage relationship, you can be unhappy for the rest of your life. Choose to be happy. I normally say happiness is a choice, because there are people whose hearts are already down. Even if you pour love, joy, and happiness, and their hearts do not want to be happy, they will never be happy. So whether it is in a rocky marriage, rocky relationship, unhealthy relationship, choose to be happy. And once you take it positively, then it will be very easy for you to have time of your own, not to give it all until you forget about yourself. Don't give too much. Have time with yourself. You don't have to be gloomy all the time, even if it is becoming so much rocky and unbearable. Always find a reason to smile. Always find a reason to be happy. That is tip number 2. Tip number 3, resolve money conflicts. I call it money madness. because it is a madness. I also like to call it a third party in a relationship, because a good example is maybe when you're meeting, you never talked about money, you never saw that money, you saw the heart of that person, but when the money issue comes, remember it is the hardest thing, conflict to resolve in a relationship. It is the biggest source of marital conflicts. Why? Number one, money can be used as a source of power. Number two, money can be used as a source of resentment in that relationship. I have done a video on his, hers, money matters in a relationship. Please do subscribe and go direct to that video and see what I talked about money. Because trust me, so many of us are hurting down there in our relationships because of this thing that is called money. Please, let it not be an issue. Because silver and gold belongs unto God. If we ask for it, we shall get it. Resentment comes when there is an equivalence. One gets more, the other one gets less. So one uses that more money or that much money to suppress or to punish or to reward the other party. It can also be used as a source of control. Now I have it, I will control you. If it is a woman, controls the woman. If it's a man, controls the man. But trust me, controlling each other, punishing each other, rewarding or not rewarding will not bring joy, will not bring hope. Because I always say, I would rather be happy and have that joy with little money. Now, resolve it amicably. If you find that when it comes to the discussion of money, it becomes quarrelsome, it becomes a series of screaming and talking at each other, then you can postpone it and have that active plan afterwards. You can postpone it, get a meeting, call yourselves a meeting, talk about it again. If it is not resolved, you can seek for advice, for guidance, until you can have that active plan, either to combine the money, separate the money, or have a joint account. Otherwise, if it is not done, you can break apart because of money, which is not worth it. Your love, your relationship is more important than these material things. You may disagree with me, but I think I prefer to be happy in life. So you want to be happy, you want to resolve your differences, you want to rebuild your relationship, you want to salvage that marriage which is already rocky. Try to resolve that money madness. Remember, in a healthy relationship, we said even fighting is okay. So it doesn't mean that you won't disagree about it, but how you handle it is all what matters. So resolve money madness. No, this is the boundary, this is what we are going to do, and this is the active plan when it comes to our properties, when it comes to our money. I hope we are together in that. In case you have a question, leave me comments on the comment section and let me explain that further depending on my experience, which I think is working, and I thank God because I will choose to be happy over money, over material things, because I think my health matters a lot.